Greetings, programs, and welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where today, bold claim to make, but I will go out and say today we are looking at absolute third-party Transformer perfection. Today's figure is going to be the Mechanic Skill Studio 001 Sirius. Very, very obviously, Armada Starscream in Legends class. And holy turds, I truly do not think that a version of this character will ever be better made than this one here. I say as I fix the step that I missed. Oops. So yeah, as you can see here, we have a tiny, relatively tiny Armada Starscream. Excellent greebly details. We will be taking a look at accessories a little later on, but I'm jumping into this. I am so excited. Yes, you can tell where his head is. That is a feature, not a bug. That is how Armada Starscream works. But overall, like, this is probably the single cleanest version of Armada Starscream that anyone has ever done. And I say that looking at the official Voyager figure that came out not long ago. It's like the wing to chunk ratio on this little guy is much more believable, shall we say. But as you'd hope, yes, he does have the little fold up blasters there. Little tab sticking out back here because he does come with the little itty bitty non-transforming Starscream's Minicon name up there. Dead End Swindle. I think it's Swindle, but if I don't put anything up, that means it was Swindle. If I put something up, it means I'm stupid. There will probably be something up on the screen. But yeah, no, just little tiny car mode. All the wheels roll. Like, just... it's so tiny. It goes ahead, pops on back here. It doesn't do anything other than sit there and complete the look for Armada Starscream. But, I mean, seriously, at this scale, what else would you expect? Unlike most Armada Starscreams, this guy does, in fact, have little fold-out landing gear. You know, they don't roll at all because they are crazy tiny. But go ahead, flip these out. And just take a moment to appreciate how clean that underside is. Like, you know, you can tell where the arms are, but you can also very easily kind of pass that off as being part of his thrusters or something. I love the little, like, dual rear landing gears back there. Oh my, like, it's hard to talk about this figure because I am just so over the moon with this thing. It is so awesome. Gonna go ahead, jump into transforming him after I take Tiny Red off, fold up the landing gear. And this transformation is just, it's everything you would expect from, you know, Armada Starscream. It is incredibly similar to this guy, once again. But the few things it changes, like, elevates what was already, you know, I love the Voyager figure that Hasbro just released. Don't get me wrong, that is a great figure. This thing, like, it took a figure that was probably like an 8, or I'd even go as far as say a 9 out of 10. They did a lot good with that figure. This thing's a damn 15. So So you go ahead, transform him. We'll start by actually coming to the back here. These little thrusters are on a ball joint, so you'll just fold them out from between the two little tabs that just stick out there. Spin them around. Fold them down over these fins. And you can adjust these, by the way, for how far out or in you want them to sit in the jet mode. But once you go ahead and fold this down, there is kind of a, a set, it's supposed to stay there kind of position. Go ahead and fold this up just for a second to get them sort of out of the way. Take the little tail section here, fold it up, and there's just so many little tabs and notches that are holding this jet mode together. It would take forever to try to point them all out. So just know that if he's not holding together, wiggle and squeeze him a little more. Something didn't tab in. Once everything's tabbed in on this thing, wow. But go ahead, fold those two little sections down. They will come down, meet in the middle. Just leave this up for a second. Come to the bottom here. And fold these little panels out from each other. Go ahead and actually unpeg the arms from the underside of the wings just to get a little more clearance here. Go ahead and straighten out the legs on their double jointed knee. Fold that piece up to fill in the back there. Straighten out the foot. Fold out the heel. And same thing over here. Pull it out. Straighten it out. Turn it. Close up the back. Try to keep this on camera. There's a reason I don't look at a lot of Legends, small scale figures. They are hard for me to keep in frame and keep focus. My nose itches. Hooray. Go ahead and just kind of finish situating the arms really quick right now. Reach up under here. There's a little notch you can kind of get a hold of to start folding his head up through the head hole. And while that's coming up, there is also a notch right here in the front of the plane that will... No, not this notch, pardon me. But you want to make sure that those all kind of line up, go together. Come down here. Unpeg this section from right there. Swing the hips back. And then keep bringing this up, and then this will tab into that little slot that was up there. This can take a little bit of doing, mainly because I am trying to do it through a viewfinder. We know this song and dance. I can't do something, I blame the viewfinder. Alright, got that in. Go ahead and take the wings, fold them back on their little ball joints. Take this section, just fold it down here along his back. Get your finger in there, straighten up the head. Go ahead and fold the little blasters back, and then keep going and fold the thrusters back as well. Probably would have been easier to move his head after I had done that, but oh well. Come up here, pull the top of the forearm forward to open it up. Get the hands out. Come on. Work with me, buddy. And there you have Sirius in his robot mode. And my gosh, this is, again, this is like, this is what you remember Armada Starscream looking like. Like, this is Armada Starscream perfected. And the posability on this thing, like, forget, oh, for the size it's good. No. This genuinely has some of the best posability I have ever seen on a Transformer, period. So, start off, head is on a ball joint. He can look way up, down a pretty sizable amount. Tilt side to side, full rotation. So, he can look anywhere you would need him to look. He's got his arms move out all the way on the shoulders, and then even further if you need him to on that extra joint. He's got butterfly joints, which is just unheard of on something like this. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, which, it might look a little weird if you get them at the far extreme, but, double jointed, they move all the way. Wrists are on a ball joint, so there's wiggle and waggle and rotation. And here's the part that's the most mind-blowing to me. You can take the nose, the cockpit section here, rotate it forward on this part, and then actually use that transformation joint up in here as an ab crunch. We have a Legends class Starscream with an ab crunch. That is incredible. You don't really have an arcing back unless you want to just, unpeg this section and then fold them backwards. I'm not going to complain. There is rotation on the hips here as well. He can kick forward all the way. If you get his thruster out of the way, his legs go back all the way. He can do the full splits. There's rotation there at the thigh. Double jointed knees for, once again, the full range. Ball joints and kind of a little stock for the ankles. So, the feet shift back and forth. They rotate. They pivot. You can adjust the heel if you need to. Like, my word. And we're still not to one of the coolest parts of this figure. That being the wing. Because yes, as you would want from an Armada Starscream, you can take the wing off, unfold it. There are little thooping points to hold it in place. Fold the handle straight. Push the head back if it accidentally knocked over. And you've got the wing sword just like the original. Don't like the fact that it's missing some paint in the middle? Okay, well. He also comes with one that doesn't transform and is painted the whole way across. So you can go ahead and give him that if you want instead. It also has a little peg right there, so you can go ahead and store it on the back of his other wing. Or if you don't like the fact that, you had to take part of him off to give him the sword, he comes with another wing that doesn't transform and is just painted all the way. So, if I can remember how to get this in, there you go. And it's got its own set of the storage ports as well, so you really can have your cake and eat it too with this Starscream. And we're still not done, because, and I'm not going to change all the hands out the hard way, he comes with extra hands. He comes with little punchy fists. More slightly open hands with the thumb up that still, still holds all the same accessories. Doesn't hold this sword as well as it does the non-transforming sword, just because this one does have a slightly squarer peg, but there you go. But then the one that I will change his hand for Go ahead and pop this one out. He's got these hands that are big open. Just big enough to hold on to a 5mm port weapon. So you can take the comedically undersized Starsaber from your official Voyager Starscream and give it to this guy. And it's like the perfect size for him to use. So, yeah, it is hard for me not to go just the most insane hard form of just full gush mode on this guy. But I genuinely think this is the single greatest Transformer I have ever handled in my life. I cannot recommend this figure enough. Like, he is just so good. Like, the alt mode is clean. The alt mode is solid. The transformation is very intuitive, very simple, but very effective. He has, like, the only kibble he has is the kibble that you need to have on Armada Starscream. You know, the weird little tail and stuff. He is intensely clean. He's got every posability joint I could ever ask for on a figure of any size. Forget a Legends class. Just, oh, holy cow. You get a lot of stuff with this little guy. He can steal the accessories from the official figure and use it better than the official figure did. Like, there's one thing this figure does that this one doesn't do. That's the part where these fold up. I'm not even going to say that's really worth it. This is currently, and probably for an incredibly long time, going to be the definitive Armada Starscream. Like, the only nitpick I can possibly come up with is I can't take the little guy and stick it on his forearm right there. I'll live. It activated the gimmick by going on his back anyway. You want him to look like the old one? Well then, hey, just go ahead and open this back up. Or fold those up. Fold this up. Flatten that back out. Put it down on those tabs. There you go. You've got him looking like the G, or not the G1 toy, but, you know, the original Armada toy with the ridiculously long backpack. This is, like, this figure is just the ultimate in have your cake and eat it too. You will have to take this little guy off to move these up and down just because they do conflict. Ooh, you have to move something. I love this figure. Go check this figure out. I'm done talking. Go check the figure out.